5 states wealthy people are moving out of. Over the last few years, many Americans making $200,000 or more per year have been relocating to distant states. According to an Instagram post by CNBC, high-income earners are moving to Florida, Texas, Arizona, North Carolina, and South Carolina. So you might be asking yourself, why are these people leaving? Hi, and welcome back to another video of Finance Sense, where we cover all the latest trends in the financial markets and the economy. Before we start, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to stay updated with our videos. Now, let's get to the video proper. According to a Forbes report, California, New York, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts are the top 5 states from which people are relocating. These people are leaving for better taxes, safer communities, and nicer weather. So let's talk about the first factor, better taxes. High state taxes are standard in places like California, New York, and Chicago, whereas states like Florida, Texas, and Arizona are noted for having either minimal state taxes or none at all. If you have a high enough income that will enable you to work anywhere, then you'd be losing money if you lived in states with high taxes instead of those with relatively low ones. Regardless of the profit generated, the amount you get to retain matters. To illustrate, consider the difference between living in San Francisco and Miami and making $50,000 per year. The highest rate of state income tax in California is 12.3%. So if you are a single taxpayer with an annual income of over $625,000, you will be subject to a tax rate of 12.3%, and if your annual income is over $1 million, you will be subject to an additional 1% tax for mental health services. However, as Florida does not impose state taxes, Miami residents pay no such fees. If you earn $50,000 a year in California, you'll take home around $40,000 after taxes and fees, whereas in Miami, you will take home about $42,000 after taxes and fees. The marginal nature of these state taxes means that residents of lower income brackets will have to pay a lesser percentage of their earnings in state taxes. If your annual income is $50,000, it will not make much difference. Taking into account both federal and state taxes, someone making $250,000 annually in San Francisco will have $160,000 left over at the end of the year, whereas someone making the same amount in Miami will have $180,000. You might finally begin to notice a change. Because of the elimination of state taxes, you can keep an additional $20,000 of your hard-earned wage. In addition, if you are a high-income earner and bring in $2.5 million a year, living in San Francisco will leave you with $1,250,000 or less, while living in Miami will leave you with $1,555,000. That is an additional $300,000. It becomes more financially exciting and captivating for people wherein they will move to places based on state taxes as their income rises. This is especially true in today's environment, where many people have the flexibility to work remotely or from different places while still earning the same salary, especially if one is just working remotely. Moreover, one of the primary motivations for the exodus of crypto millionaires from the United States during the height of the crypto boom was a desire to relocate to a so-called crypto safe haven, such as Puerto Rico or another nation where they would not pay taxes on their cryptocurrency earnings. Over the past 12 to 14 months, many crypto billionaires have suffered significant losses. Being in America has many advantages, and if you are already here but are not making the most of your tax situation, you are missing out. If you are going to invest in crypto, you need to use a reputable exchange and withdraw your funds regularly because there will be pretty uncertain times next 12 to 18 months. Second, the high crime rate in some regions has caused residents to flee. In California, felony theft is defined as anything over $950. A police officer cannot use force to stop someone who steals $900 worth of merchandise from a retailer. They will let them go, and police will usually refrain from using force unless the items at hand are worth several $1,000s. This is true not just of retail establishments, but also of vehicles. In California, carjacking is legal, and police officers have no right to use physical force to prevent someone from entering a vehicle and taking its contents. It's futile to outrun them because they would not attempt to catch you. They cannot use force to drag you inside, and once you are inside, you'll probably be released somehow. As a result, some people have decided they would rather not live in those locations where such atrocities have occurred. These people with comfortable incomes were already considering leaving California due to the state's increased tax rates. But then they started to experience crime and wanted to leave the city, so they debated whether to remain in California or migrate to a state like Arizona, where they would pay far fewer taxes. Third, it turns out that most individuals would rather visit warm, sunny beaches than chilly, wet ones, so most people opt to relocate to places with desirable climates. The natural scenery and weather in San Diego are among the world's finest, since it rarely rains and always seems pleasant. Because of the pleasant climate, many individuals choose to live in places like San Diego. Some people have recently relocated from colder climates to warmer ones, such as Florida, Texas, or Arizona, citing the favorable weather, low crime rates, and low taxes as reasons for the relocation. This is especially true for those with a higher income. The question now is, what does all this portend for the future of corporations and governments? These well-known corporations are attempting to play the game and choose their next steps. Will employees be summoned back to the office? Or perhaps they're hoping customers would visit them in Florida or Texas to take advantage of the state's favorable tax climate. Where will all the bright minds go? Should they pay you less if you do not live near the workplace? Companies are scrambling to figure out this complex game. Moving your business from a high tax state to the lowest tax state makes financial sense from the perspective of a business trying to optimize its finances, especially if you are making millions of dollars per year, as you can save a lot of money per year just by moving to a lower tax state. However, New York remains an unattractive location if you have a large workforce. Although the cost of living in Manhattan continues to rise, it remains a popular destination for many. It's the same in both California and Chicago. It is a balancing act for businesses to determine how frequently they need workers to come into the office versus how much employees like being there. What, then, do you suggest to them, given this information? Because some companies have relocated from high tax to low tax states, others could follow this and reduce their taxable income while increasing their profits. That's bad news for states because if they have high taxes and see their wealthiest citizens and corporations leave, they stand to lose a significant amount of money. You have ridiculously high tax rates, yet the available tax revenue decreases as people leave states like New York, California, and Illinois. These states will also need to decide if they are serious about retaining their business community. Do we want to lower taxes to entice more businesses to locate here? Is it necessary to increase taxes to acquire a larger amount of money? This challenge did not exist 20 years ago, so finding a solution would require a delicate balancing act between enterprises and states. Businesses may move to a state with lower taxes, but you would not have the flexibility to continue working from home if you did so. With the advent of telecommuting, some companies are thinking that if they can keep their productivity the same, or even if productivity goes down by 7% but save $12 in taxes, the business is still profitable even by moving to a lower tax state. This is the delicate balancing act that companies and states are engaged in, and it will continue to play out over the next few years. Some states may decide to revise their corporate tax policies if they notice a significant number of companies relocating out of state during the next several years to reduce their tax burden. It is not appealing for people to hear, "We are going to tax you a large amount of money even though we need you here," from a business. Of course, it attracts more to hear the words, "Here you will pay no tax and we will do anything you want instead." In this way, not only can a thriving business be launched, but it can also begin luring potential employees to the region. We can look forward to seeing more of this sort of theater in the coming decade. Thank you for watching this far. Please leave a like, subscribe to help us expand our future audience, and comment down your thoughts in the comments section. This is Finance Sense, helping you keep up with all the latest trends in the financial markets and the economy. Stay safe and look out for the next video.